Sachiputram atra swarupam rupam tasya kachamuripurim maturim goshtuvavitim Radha Kundamagirivaram Oh Radhika Marvasim Prapto Yasya Pratitya Kripaya Sri Guru Tam Manatosmi Gurave Gaura-chandraya Radhikai Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namah Ananda Leelamaya Vigrahaya He Mabhaddivyaschavi Sundaraya Tasmai Mahapremarasapradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshay Chilkastakahavaritoram Kamahati Kripa Mahitam Shanam Prapana Vrinde Namaste Charanaravindam Vrinde Namaste Charanaravindam Govinda Rama Dharamadaveti Govinda Rama Dharamadaveti Govinda Rama Dharamadaveti Govinda Rama Dharamadaveti Everyone. Hey Krishna, Hey Yadava, Hey Saketi Govinda Rama Dharamadaveti Sham Sundar Shikanda Shikar Smaraha Sumurali Manoida Radhika Rasakamama Kripandithe Supriya Charna King Kurim Kuru Tavaivasmi Najvami Tayavana Iti Vikyaya Devitam Namam Charanantikam. First of all, I offer my Sastang Dandavat Puspanjali, my heart like flowers, thousands and thousands of times, at the lotus feet of my holy master, my supremely worshipable spiritual Gurudev, Asmatiya Paramaradhatama Guru Pada Padma. Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada Ashtotarasata Sri Rupanugacharya Varya Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Secondly, I offer my pranam thousands of times at the lotus feet of my Param Gurudev, to Srila Prabhupada, and to all of our Sri Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Parampara. And finally, I offer my pranam to all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Vanchakalpatarvasa Pasimta Putitanam Pavani Bhu Vaishnavityo.
Prem Prayojan Prabhu ki.
By the causeless mercy of Sri Guru and Gauranga, we are assembling for 4 days to hear Harikatha. Yesterday, we discussed the glories of Gaura-tattva and especially the Sri Bhagavat Guru Parampara. So today, we want to discuss the pastimes of Sri Sachinandan Gauri, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Rathabhava Jyoti Suvalitam Nomi Krishna Surupam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Nanda Nandan, the son of Nanda Maharaj. He is Gopikanta, the beloved of the Braja Gopis, and he has appeared in this Kali Yuga with the sentiments and the complexion of Srimati Radhika. Apni karimu bhakta bhavayang ikari, apni achari bhakti shikamu sabari. Krishna thought, I will appear in the mood of a devotee and I will teach the whole world the path of bhajan, the path of pure bhakti by my own example. Gaurange Madhulila Jara Karne Pravashila Hridaya Nirmala Beluta. If the sweet pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will enter into someone's ear, then Hridaya Nirmala Beluta, the heart will become nirmal. It will become immaculate, completely pure. You should not think that when we hear the description of the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that this is some account of some historical event that took place 500 years ago. Just like now, in the flow of time, the living entities are engaged in karma. But this is Gaura-lila. Karma takes place below the 3 gunas. Karma is the action of sattva, rajas and tamas in this world. Karma is the activity of living entities who are existing under the shadow of ahankar, false ego, and who are bound to act, forced to act by the samskaras, the impressions of their previous life's activities. Their activities always produce some very meager result, which is quickly lost also. Dukalayama shashvatam. In Gita, Sri Krishna said, this world is a temporary place and full of misery. So that is karma. But lila is something completely different. That Supreme Lord, who is not bound by time or space, he is completely nirankush. He has no limitations at all. He's acting not by past results, but out of pure ananda, pure joy. Everything he does is an expression of love and tenderness for his intimate associates. And those intimate associates, they're not just someone else. Like in karma, there are so many different jivas, all conflicting together against each other. But the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they're the extensions of his own swarup. In fact, the whole lila, the whole dham, is just the effulgence of his swarup and non-different from him. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam, Bhakta Rupa Srupakam, Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namama Bhakti Shaktikam. I bow down to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, himself is manifest in 5 features. So when you hear about the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the place where it is happening, and all the associates in that pastimes who are interacting with him, that is one Advai Gyan Tattva, one indivisible, akhanda, unbroken reality. Adhyapya se lila, Korigora Rai, Kon Bhagavani Deki Pari Pai. See, Vrindavan Das Thakur said that The pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they're going on even today, and those who are fortunate can see them. So when we hear the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is not something that took place, but it is taking place now as we hear it. This is why the Vaishnavas say, patute pardapute. Just like when you go in a theater, at the beginning of you want to see a drama, you go and the curtain is down and you sit, then the music begins, then the curtain rises and then you watch the drama. So in the same way, patute pardapute. When a sadhu sits down and begins to speak Harikatha, then it's like the curtain rises. And all those who have a pure heart, they watch the drama of that lila. Jaisi deki taisi kohe. In Brajbas it said, oh, as a sadhu sees, then he's describing that reality as he's seeing. And those who are hearing, they also see through the ears. This is really hearing and chanting. So Gaura Lila is extremely powerful. Gauranga gune te jure nitya lila taraspure se janabakati adhikari. Those persons who will appreciate and relish the divine qualities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his humility, his greed to realize the beauty of Sri Krishna in Radhika's mood, his deep attachment for his devotees, his feelings of separation. If someone appreciates such qualities of Mahaprabhu, then Nitya Lila Taraspure, they will have a spurti of the Nitya Lila, the eternal pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Sejana Bhakati Adhikari. Hearing the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bestows upon us the adhikari, the adhikar, that means the eligibility for pure bhakti. Many persons, they think I will do pure bhakti, but actually there are levels of adhikar, levels of eligibility. So the question arises, am I eligible to perform pure bhakti? Pure bhakti means Anya Bilasita Shunyam Jnana Kama Dhyanabritam Anukuyena Krishna Anushilam Bhakti Uttama. The continuous, uninterrupted cultivation of all activities of the body, mind and words, and also of sentiments of the heart, which are meant exclusively for the benefit of Sri Krishna, which are not contaminated even by the slightest scent of any other worldly desire, and are not mixed with any intention to attain a superfluous liberation from this world or any worldly benefit, or mixed with tapasya to get some type of powers to assert ourselves over this world and others. Should be free from all of these things. So only a person who has these qualifications is engaged in Uttama Bhakti. Sadhana, Uttam Sadhana Bhakti. And before that only we are developing Shraddha, developing our faith. Until the faith is firm, and then one has the eligibility for Uttama Bhakti. So by hearing the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this eligibility is conferred upon us. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is distributing Krishna Prem through the chanting of the holy name. Eidwari achandale kirtana sanchare nama prema malaganti praela sangsare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he took the flowers of the holy name and he strung them and made a garland. So when you see a garland, you can see the flowers. So each flower is like one name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, like that. But you cannot see inside that garland there's a thread, there's a sutra. So in the Maha Mantra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he made a garland of the holy names and he put inside the thread of Prem Sutra. So those who will engage in Harinam Sankirtan under the guidance of Gauranga Mahaprabhu and his associates, they receive this garland from Mahaprabhu and they are touched by Prem. Nishtoil upajay premara taranga. When a person has steadiness in chanting the holy name, then they will feel the waves of love rising up in the heart. Unconditional love. That means nothing for me, everything for you. Srimati Radhika is the epitome of this. Nagani apanaduka sabe bangche tarasuka tarasuka amarya tatparya morijari dia duka tarahoy mahasuka sehi duka mora sukavarya. She's embarrassed when I say this, but these are her words. She said, I never count my own happiness or distress. I never think about it. I only want Krishna's happiness. In fact, the happiness of Krishna is the tatparya. It is the purport. It is the ultimate meaning of my life. Every breath, every step, everything I do, from bathing, decorating, cooking, everything is only for Krishna's happiness. And if Krishna were to derive happiness by giving me suffering, great suffering, then I accept that suffering. And for me, that suffering is the greatest happiness. This is the nature of pure love. This is the bhav of Srimati Radhika. Ye nari re banche Krishna tara rupa satrishna. Radhika said, if Krishna has some attachment, some affection, he's eager to meet another gopi. Tarna pai hayaduki, but he's unable to meet with her. And she also refuses to meet with him. And there are many obstacles. I will myself personally go. Seeing that Krishna is unhappy, I will personally go to that gopi, to her house. And I will fall down at her feet and I'll beg her, meet with Krishna. She'll say, but I have so many duties here to do in my home. Don't worry, I'll help you clean your house. And I'll do the housework of that gopi even. And I'll take her by the hand, Krida Karan Tara Karan Suki. And I'll bring her to the forest. And I'll push her into the kunj where Sri Krishna is waiting. And when Sri Krishna is playing, then I'll feel the greatest joy. When he's playing with that gopi. This love is a ujjvala rasa, shining, brilliant, pure love of Srimati Radhika. This is her mood. And now Sri Krishna has appeared and he's tasting this. These very words that we are expressing now, Mahaprabhu has expressed in the last verse of Shikshastakam. Aslisya va padaratam pinashtumam adarshanam mamahatam karotu va yatha tatha va vidadatu lampato mat pranana tastu sa eva napara. Krishna may embrace me, leaving all the other gopis, and only embrace me. And then I'll feel I am the most fortunate young woman in the whole world. Or he may neglect me, he may break my heart by not giving me his darshan, his association. But Radhika loves him without any terms and conditions. No contract with terms and conditions at all. Oh Krishna, whatever you do, I accept it. Why? Not because of this reason or because of that reason, just because it's you, you are doing it. Love is for you, not for what you do or don't do. Purnamasi said, Doshe nashaitam gune gurutam kenapinatam vati. Prem naswaras kasitidayam vikridati prakriya. This is the nature of love, that if the person you love has some faults, does something wrong, has some defect or fault, seeing that fault does not make the love go down. If you have a relationship with someone and they misbehave in some way, if they misbehave in some way, I don't know, Hillsborough is very far away. Now we're in Vrindavan. If there is pure love, then the object of love, if they do something which should be displeasing, then even seeing this fault, the love does not go down. And simultaneously, if they do something, they have some wonderful qualities. Their good qualities don't make the love increase. Why? Prem love has its own life. It has its own way of behaving. It is increasing, it is not dependent on anything, even anything that the object of love will do. It is ahoituki, unconditional, pure. So that love, akaitava Krishna Prem, Jaino Jambo Nadahim, Say Prema Nirloka Nahoy. Radharani said, pure love without any duplicity, any cheating, without any conditions. It's not available in this world. Jambu Nadhain. It's like the gold of the Jambu River. There's a river in the heavenly planets. When the mangoes fall from the trees, which are thousands of feet high, they fall to the ground and the juice flows from them, and the juice makes a river. And when the waves of the juice wash up on the shore, mixed with earth, and it dries, and it makes gold. And the demigods take this gold and decorate themselves with it. It's called Jambu Nadhain. So if you meet a jeweler and he wants to sell you a very nice ring, and he tells you, this is not 24 karat gold, this is 26 karat gold. There's no such thing. This is Jambu Nadhain. This is the gold from the Jambu Nad. Then don't believe him, because that gold is not available here. It's not available in this world. So in the same way, this type of pure and unconditional love is simply not available here. Why? Because it is the play of Sri Krishna's Ladini Shakti. It is a part of God Himself. Krishna is Satchidananda Vigraha, the condensed embodiment of eternity, consciousness and bliss, and His blissful portion is manifest as Ladini Shakti, the pleasure potency. And this love that we are discussing comes from that. It cannot be present in this world at all. It is entirely absent from this plane. So this love, this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving. Understand? This love is what he has put in the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Only we have to do Sharnagati, Atmasamarpan, complete surrender at the lotus feet of Gurudev. Engage in service without any ulterior motive, with a pure heart, and chant the holy name. And then that rare, impossible to be found in this world, transcendental love, which is an aspect of the Swarup of the Supreme Lord, which is Purna in its full form embodied as Brishabhanu Nandini Shrimati Radhika. From her and her associates, then that love will manifest in the heart. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving this through the holy name. Taramadde sarvashyasta nama sankirtan Niraparad nam laile pai premadhan. Mahaprabhu told Srila Sanatana Goswami Pad, out of all the angas of bhakti, all the practices of bhakti, Nam Sankirtan, the chanting of the holy name congregationally. Sankirtan means Sarvato Bhavein Kirtan, a kirtan with four things. First, kirtan without aparad, without offense. Kirtan without anartha, without the attachments and obstacles and misconceptions. Kirtan in the association of pure devotees. And with Sambandha Gyan, realizing one's Vishesh Sambandha, special particular relationship with Krishna, When those four things are present, then kirtan is called Sankirtan. And this gives the experience of that aprakrita vastu, the supernatural transcendental realm. So, Mahaprabhu saying, Niraparad nanlalipai premagan. One should chant without offense. There are 10 offenses to the holy name. They're like 10 hurdles. If you can go beyond these 10 hurdles, then when you chant, then gradually realization will begin to manifest. But unfortunately, in Kali Yuga, due to misfortune, persons, they trip over in even the first hurdle. Or to speak of going over 10, leaving 10 offenses, even the first one, many persons, they fall flat on the first hurdle. What is that? Satan Ninda. To make offense or criticize Krishna's devotees. Yesterday we discussed Janasya Krishna Vimukasya Daiva Tadharma Shilasya Sudukisasya Anugrayeya Charantinunam Bhutani Bhavyani Janardanasya. Pure devotees are always wandering in this world. But because of our conditioned nature, the tendency of the mind, this is mentioned as the very first offense to the holy name, because the tendency of the material mind is to try to obstruct or go against pure devotees. Pure devotees are always kind and they only want to help others. But when the consciousness is covered with the three gunas and with material attachments, then one misinterprets all the activities and words of pure devotees and thinks, oh, he's against me. He's my enemy. He's disturbing me. Like this. And so, this warning is given, the very first thing. Be careful for this. The example is given in Mahabharata. You know, after the great war, the Kurukshetra Yuddha, after this great war, all the 100 sons of Dhritarashtra, they're all dead. The Pandavas destroyed them in the battle. But especially among the Pandavas, most of them were killed by whom? Bhimsen. Most of the sons of Dhritarashtra were killed by Bhimsen. It was Bhimsen who, on Krishna's indication, cheated in the club battle and broke the thigh of Duryodhana. It was Bhimsen who fulfilled his vow to break open the chest of Dushasana and drink his blood. Because he had tried to tear off the sari of Draupadi and embarrass her in the royal assembly. So Bhimsen, among the Pandavas, he was the main one who had killed most of the sons of Dhritarashtra. So when the war was over, then Yudhishthira Maharaj and the Pandavas, they were in Hastinapur, and before they were leaving Hastinapur to go to Indraprastha, they came to pay obeisances and give respect to their senior personality, Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra means what? All the names are very important. All the names of the various associates and personalities in Krishna are very important. Because their names are given by astrological calculation by some rishi. Dhrita means one who holds. And Rashtra means Raja, kingdom. One who is holding on to the kingdom, right? Dhritarashtra, by providence, he was sitting on the throne. Really is only a placekeeper. But he wanted to hold on to it and pass it on to his son, not to the rightful heir, Yudhishthira Maharaj. So Dhritarashtra means one who holds on to the kingdom. But what kingdom? The kingdom of Maya. So anyone in this world who is very attached to this kingdom of Maya, to this physical world, who is holding on to it tightly, will not let go, who does not understand. One day you will have to give up everything. So why not give up now? Because if you are attached all the time and then it's taken by force, it will be suffering, and then attachment will entangle one further in the future. So, and it's not a threat. It's not a threatening thing. Oh, leave everything and serve Krishna. Why? There's nothing to leave. This is nothing. This is the world of Maya, smoke and mirrors. Like a dream. Ambarish Maharaj, he was the king of the world. But he was not affected by his power or opulence because he saw the whole world was just like a dream. He was completely absorbed. Savai mana Krishna padara vindayo vachansi vaikunta gunanavaname. All of his senses, his mind, his tongue, his hands, continuously in Krishna's service. Because he saw the world, oh, it's like a dream. But Dhritarashtra, one who is attached to this world, giving up everything means giving up nothing and attaining everything. And being attached to everything means being attached to nothing and losing everything. Krishna's eternal service. But when we have aversion to see Krishna's service, then everything, all our value system is upside down. So Dhritarashtra is like that. He's attached to the kingdom. And if we are attached to this physical world, then we also become like the clones of Dhritarashtra. In his parampara, the followers of Dhritarashtra. A person who is Dhritarashtra, attached to the physical things of this world, they cannot know about the aprakrita vastu, the transcendental world. They cannot experience the chidvilas, spiritual, loving pastimes of Sri Krishna. So Dhritarashtra, he was like this. And because he had lost his sons, he was now very miserable. He was in a very dark mood. He was very angry. He was very frustrated. And he wanted to vent that frustration. But he was hiding it and being very polite. Yudhishthira Maharaj came. Oh, my dear, Yudhishthira Maharaj, let me embrace you. And just making a show of affection, he embraced Yudhishthira Maharaj. So then, oh, Bhimsen, let me embrace, but he wanted to kill Bhimsen. Because Dhritarashtra was so strong, he could crush iron with his bare hands. So he thought, now I'll get my revenge on that Bhimsen. Oh, Bhimsen, come. But this is the thing. No one can outsmart Krishna. See, Krishna already knew what was there in the heart of Bhimsen. So before he came, he had an iron murti of Bhimsen made. And that day he came and he bought the iron murti of Bhimsen. And when the blind, Dhritarashtra is blind, right? So he said, he embraced Yudhishthira and said, oh, where is Bhimsen? Krishna said, oh, here's Bhimsen. And put the iron murti in front of Dhritarashtra. Then Dhritarashtra said, oh, my dear. And then he embraced the iron murti and then he crushed and he pulverized it. It was crushed to dust. But in the process of crushing this iron murti, his chest was injured, blood was coming from his body, and he was vomiting blood. So the teaching here is that if someone tries to go against Krishna's devotees, then they only end up injuring themselves. The devotee is always protected by Sri Krishna. The devotee is Satya Sankalpa. Krishna makes sure he is Satya Sankalpa, that what the devotee wants to do, it will happen. And no one can stop it. Because the devotee is Satya Sankalpa. Just like every morning we sing Samsara Davana Lalilotka. And in the end we sing Shrimad Guru Rastakam Etadutche Prame Mohorte Patati Prayatna Tyastena Brinda Bonanata Saksha Sevaya Valabhyo Jano Sunta Eva. Srila Vishwanath Thakur is saying, those persons who rise early in the morning and they sing this song and glorify their Gurudev, then they will, upon leaving this world, attain their spiritual form and serve Sri Krishna directly in Vrindavan. So Vishwanath Thakur is saying this, and this is why we sing this song every morning in Mangalartik. Why? Because Vishwanath Thakur, being a pure Vaishnava, he's Satya Sankalpa. So anything he says becomes true. So if he said, if you do this, this and this, and then you'll attain this, then if we do it, then it becomes true, because the devotee is Satya Sankalpa. So if anyone tries to go against a pure devotee in any way, they become inimical, or they try to contradict them. They try to give some opposite conclusion or obstruct their activities. Then what is the result? Only they cut themselves. And then one is deprived by falling down at the first hurdle. Then it's not possible to chant the pure name and receive this love that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving. So we see that in the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu himself and all of his associates, they are very, very humble, very respectful, and they always observe the Maryada, Vaishnava Maryada, etiquette in relationship to devotees on all different levels of advancement, from wherever they are. So, one day, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antilila chapter 4, there it's described that one day, Srila Sanatana Goswami Pad, he was coming from Vrindavan and he arrived in Jagannath Puri. On the way to Jagannath Puri, he passed through the forest of Jharkhand. And there he drank some water that was contaminated with bacteria. And because of this, he broke out in a skin disease. So we discussed yesterday, that great sage, Raikra Muni, sitting underneath the cart and he was scratching. He had a skin disease and he was scratching. But Janashuti Maharaj never saw his guru with a material vision. We can only see Vaishnavas through the ears. We cannot see them. They are not the objects of our material vision. They are not the tanmatras, material sense objects. So, now Sanatana Goswami, he's become like the Raikra Muni. Everywhere itching and sores and some blood and pus was coming from his body. So as he was on his way to Puri, he was thinking, I'm so unfortunate. I will not be able to have the darshan of Lord Jagannath, because he had been ostracized from Hindu society for working in the Muslim government of now Hussein Shah. And he said, and I will also not be able to see Mahaprabhu, because I have heard that now Mahaprabhu's residence is somewhere near the Jagannath temple, and I won't be able to go there. Because if I go past the Jagannath temple, then all the pandas and the Daitapatis who are serving Lord Jagannath, they're coming and going. And if they brush against me, it will be a great offense. So he thought, I'm very unfortunate. And in this humble mood, he was approaching Puri, and he thought, actually, my life is spoiled. It would be better for me that when the Rath Yatra comes about, then Lord Jagannath will come out onto the grand road and I'll have his darshan. And in front, in the presence of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I'll throw this body beneath the wheels of the chariot. And then I'll give up this life. And then I'll attain an auspicious destination by this. He was thinking in these ways. And he arrived in Puri. And when he arrived, he asked some persons about Srila Haridas Thakur. Because Srila Haridas Thakur, he's also ostracized from the Hindu society. But Mahaprabhu had arranged a place for him to stay. That place is now called Siddhabakul, on the shore of the ocean. So, Srila Sanatana Goswami, he inquired, where is Haridas Thakur staying? And he arrived there. He gave pranams to Srila Haridas Thakur. And seeing him, Srila Haridas Thakur was overjoyed and he embraced Sanatana Goswami. He didn't care that he had a skin disease or anything, because he has the divine vision of the Vaishnavas. So then, just then, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived. Because even though Srila Haridas Thakur, he could not go to the Jagannath temple, but Lord Jagannath himself, in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, used to come every day to see him and personally bring Jagannath Mahaprasadam. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was approaching there, then Srila Haridas Thakur and Sanatana Goswami, they both fell on the ground giving Dandavat Pranam. So Mahaprabhu, he picked up Haridas Thakur and embraced him. And Haridas Thakur said, "Oh, this is your Sanatan, giving Dandavat to you." So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is omniscient, he knows everything. But because of their very close and intimate relation, they deal with him in this way. "Oh, this is your Sanatan, giving pranams." So then, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he picked up Sanatana Goswami and he also embraced him. And some of the pus from his wounds were rubbed onto the body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Sanatana Goswami said, "Oh, please don't touch me, I'm contaminated." So then, Mahaprabhu, he told him, "Oh, Rupa Goswami was here. He stayed with me for about 10 months. And about 10 days ago, Rupa Goswami has set off for Vrindavan. But he's going through Navadvip on the way. So Sanatana Goswami came through Jarakanda and Rupa Goswami is going by another route, so they didn't meet each other on the way." So then Mahaprabhu, he told Sanatana Goswami, "Your younger brother, Vallabha, Anupam also known as Vallabha, he has passed away." When Sanatana Goswami heard that his younger brother had passed away, then he said, "My Lord, you're very kind, even though our family is very low and very fallen. But you have been very kind to us. You did not see our fallen condition. So there cannot be anything inauspicious." He was thinking, my brother, Vallabh, he must have attained a great destination, because Mahaprabhu is kind to all three brothers, Rupa, Sanatan and Anupam. So then Sanatana Goswami said, "You know, Vallabh, Anupam, he was a great devotee of Lord Ram. He was always serving Lord Ram. But one day, along with Sanatana, with the two brothers, we came to him and said, 'Listen, don't you know? Etei changsa kala pungsa krishnastu bhagavan swayam.' All the avatars, all the incarnations of the Lord, they come from Krishna. Krishna is the original form of Godhead. Krishna is a kila rasamrita murti. He is the embodiment of all rasa. There is the highest love in the pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan. Why don't you worship Krishna? And then the three of us, we can be absorbed in hearing the pastimes of Krishna together." So he was the younger brother, and younger brother always gives respect to the older brothers. He said to me, "Yes, surely, whatever you say. Please, give me initiation. Initiate me into a Krishna mantra, and I'll worship Krishna." So Sanatana Goswami initiated him in Krishna mantra, and then that night he was lying in bed, but he could not sleep. The whole night he was crying. "How can I give up the lotus feet of Lord Ram? I have sold my head at his lotus feet and I cannot take it back. It would be easier to die than to give up Lord Ram." And the whole night he was awake. In the morning he came to his two brothers. He said, "I don't want to disobey you. I want to be respectful, but I cannot give up the service of Lord Ram." So then Rupa and Sanatan, they were very happy. They said, "Oh, really you have Nishta. Nishta in your Ishta. Your heart has Nishta, that means fixity. It's fixed, it won't move. There's nothing that can move your determination just to love and please that form of the Lord who is your Ishta, your worshipable Lord. So they were pleased with him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, oh, I had a friend who was just like that. His name was Murari Gupta. So similar pastime, Mahaprabhu tried to persuade him to worship Lord Krishna, because he was a servant of Lord Ram. But though he wanted to honor Mahaprabhu's request, but he could not give up the service of Lord Ram. He would give up his life first. So then Mahaprabhu told Sanatana Goswami, say Bhakta Danya Yena Chadi Prabhur Charan. Say Prabhu Danya Nahi Chodi Nija Jan. It means that devotee is Dhanya. That servant is Dhanya, blessed, who cannot give up the service of his Lord, his master. And that master who is blessed, who never gives up his servant. It works both ways. It works both ways. If there's a master and a servant, and they never give up each other, then they are blessed. Because Nishta means the Nishta, situated, fixed. But we can explain it in this way. It means loyalty. Loyalty. Loyalty is so important in spiritual life. This is the quality that really attracts Sri Krishna. If someone has loyalty to him, or whichever form you are worshipping, you have loyalty to Ishtadev. You have Guru Nishta, you have loyalty to your spiritual master. This captivates the heart of Krishna. And it is not only the servant towards the master, but the master to the servant as well. Mahaprabhu said, and if sometimes a servant who's weak may fall down or have a problem or leave the path, that master who goes and catches him by the sika and brings him back, then that master is fortunate. So they are both blessed. The master who never lets go of his servants and the servant who never lets go of his master, they are Dhanya, Dhanya, Dhanya. Guru Lila is like this. Every small thing that happens, every small sentence or any conversation that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has is unlimitedly deep and full of love. So then Mahaprabhu said, you should stay here with Srila Haridas Thakur. And anyway, I will come every day with my associates to see you. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he liked to come after the Upal Bhog offering, after the morning offering of Bhog to Lord Jagannath. He liked to go there to Siddhabakul, and he would come with Swarup Damodar Goswami, Ramananda Roy, Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, Gadadhar Pandit, Paramananda Puri, all of these very exalted and intimate associates. He would come there with them, and they would have Harikatha there at Srila Haridas Thakur's place. So one day, in the mid-morning, Mahaprabhu arrived there with all of his associates. Srila Sanatana Goswami bowed down, Haridas Thakur bowed down. Then Mahaprabhu sat with his associates on a raised platform, but Srila Sanatana Goswami and Haridas Thakur would sit in a lower place. Mahaprabhu said, my dear Sanatana, if I could attain the service of Sri Krishna, if I could attain Krishna Prem by committing suicide, then I would give up my body thousands and thousands of times in a second. But you should know that no one can attain Krishna by committing suicide. Krishna is only available by following the path of bhakti. Acts such as suicide, they come from the mode of ignorance and they produce a horrendous results. But Krishna can be attained. As Krishna himself has said, Na sadayati mam yogo, na sankyam dharma uddhava, na swadhyayastapastyago, yatha bhakti mamorjita. Krishna said to Uddhav, Na sadayati mam yogo, hey Uddhav, I cannot be attained by doing the Ashtanga Yoga, asanas, pranayama, pratyahara, dhyan, dharana, dhyan, and samadhi. By following the yoga path, no one can attain me. Na Sankhya Dharmam, those who are following Gyan, the path of Sankhya Yoga, those who are engaged in a very fine analysis of all the components of reality in order to distinguish between matter and spirit, they cannot attain me. So the yogis cannot attain me, the karmis cannot attain me, the jnanis cannot attain me. Na swadhyas tapastyagyo, I am not attained by renunciation, I am not attained by austerities, I am not attained by much study of Vedic literatures also. Yatha bhakti mamojita, as I am attained by the process of bhakti. Because there's a big difference between the process of bhakti and all other processes. Every other process is the arohapanta, ascending process. The process of self-elevationism. The person, by their own efforts and by their own strength, is trying to reach their goal. But bhakti is avarohapanta, descending method. We have to make the effort, we have to be engaged in sadhana. But this sadhana is only to open our heart to receive kripa. So bhakti is only attained by when the mercy which is descending comes to us. Even our efforts in sadhana, when the heart is pure, then we realize that we're not doing this. If we're chanting Hare Krishna and we have the ego, I am doing this, then it will be namaparad, for sure. But when we think, oh, Gurudev is so merciful, he came to this world and wandering here and there, he saw me in fallen condition and mercifully put this mantra into my ear and into my heart. And now I am praying that that live living mantra, Krishna himself, will manifest by his own sweet will and mercy. If someone has that mood, and they chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Without ahankar, without the kartrita abhiman, the ego, the sense of being, the pride of being, I am the doer, then pure bhakti can manifest. So even in the stage of bhakti, we make an effort, but the kartrita abhiman should be given up. And then, only then, when the mind becomes steady from the stage of nishtha, after nishtha, then pure bhakti appears. In the stage of nishtha, there's no sense of the kartrita abhiman of doer. So Mahaprabhu said to Sanatana Goswami, don't try to give up your body and kill yourself. You will not get anything from this. If I could get Prem by killing myself, I'd give up my life thousands and thousands of times. He said, but Sanatana Goswami, I understand that if there's an exalted devotee and they want to attain Krishna, but they cannot, and they're feeling separation, then they are ready to give up their life. They feel, I should give, if I cannot attain Krishna, just now, I'll give up my life. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave an example, and he taught some verses to Sanatana Goswami. He said that when Rukmini, she was living in Kundina, and her marriage had been arranged to Shishupal. But before the wedding, she was thinking, I cannot marry this person. I cannot have a relationship with just this bag of meat, a skeleton, full of blood and fat and pus, wrapped up in a bag of skin, decorated with a mustache and fingernails. How you cannot love this? This is not lovable. What is lovable? God is lovable. No physical body of this world, which are all impure, is an object of love. So she wrote to Krishna a letter. Oh Krishna, the dust of your lotus feet is hankered for even by great devatas like Lord Shiva. So please accept me as your wife. And if you don't accept me, I'll do hard austerities and cause this body to become weak and depleted more and more, I'll do such intense austerities that I'll quickly die. And in my next life, I'll do austerities again and quickly die. And I'll do it again thousands and thousands of times until one day you come and save me. So Mahaprabhu, he gave this example from Dwarka. But he was not completely satisfied. Because there's a very big difference between Dwarka and Vrindavan. In Dwarka, all the residents there, they know that Krishna is God. And Krishna himself also knows that he's God there. Sometimes, very often, he manifests 4 arms there, and with the chakra. But Krishna, in Vrindavan, does he ever take up the chakra? There's no pastime of Krishna with the chakra. Because in Vrindavan, it is a sweet human-like pastimes. In Vrindavan, they have no idea. They say, they pray to Lord Narayan, oh Lord Narayan, you are the Supreme Lord. But Krishna, you are Nanda Nandan. You are the son of Madhya Yashoda. There in Vrindavan, Krishna, Madhya Yashoda can chastise little Krishna. Hey, what are you doing? You're stealing butter from the neighbor's house. Krishna, oh mother, I have not stolen butter from the neighbor's house. Madhya Yashoda says, I know, you are lying. You should tell the truth. Little Krishna with tears in his eyes. Say, why are you making accusations against me? I know why. It's because I think actually you're not my mother. I must be adopted. Otherwise, why would you be so cruel to me? Then Madhya Yashoda, hearing this, her heart melted. And tears came in the eyes of Madhya Yashoda, and she felt sorry for Krishna and embraced him. No, really I am your mother. It's okay, it's okay. I know that you haven't stolen any butter. I know that you're a good boy. You are not stealing from the neighbor. I know. Don't cry, Krishna. Krishna said, you are not my mother. I'll go to the forest and find my real mother. So she embraced him. No, I am your mother. You have not stolen anything, I understand. And then Madhya Yashoda was crying. And then Krishna, seeing his mother crying, he said, well, actually, yes, I did too. This is a Balya Lila, like an ordinary child. There's no such pastimes, there's no such love, there's no such attachment to be found anywhere in Mathura or Dwarka. And Braj Gopi's love is more. So much more. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wasn't satisfied with describing the mood of Dwarka, because this love, Aishwarya Shitira Prema Nahi Mora Preet. Krishna himself had said, when there is the knowledge of my opulence, then Prem becomes slack, it becomes weakened. Because God is Atmaram, he's self-satisfied. He doesn't need anything. But Krishna in Vrindavan, he cannot even wake up. His mother has to come up, wake up. Why are you sleeping in so late? His mother feeds him, his associates feed him. He cannot dress himself. All his Raktak, Patrak and Chitrak, they come, they wash him and they decorate him. Everything is done for him there. So Vrindavan is so sweet. So Mahaprabhu wasn't satisfied giving the example of Dwarka, so he said to Sanatana Goswami, Sinchanga nastva dadaramrita pura kena hasava loka kala gichita rischa agnim no ched vayam virajak upayukta deha jayema yama padavim padayosa kete. Mahaprabhu gave an example of a time when Srimati Radhika, speaking herself but also on behalf of other gopis, she was ready to give up her life for Krishna. When was that? You know that since childhood, Braj gopis have intense love for Sri Krishna. And it was increasing day by day by day. And finally, on the full moon night in the Sharad season, Krishna could not wait another moment. Viksharantam manaschakre yogamayams upasitaha. He made up his mind, no, I cannot wait longer. I will call all Braj Gopis on my flute, and I will fulfill my desire to perform the Rasa Leela, to dance with them on the bank of the Jamuna in the moonlight. So Krishna called all Braj Gopis, but when they arrived there, he told them, Swagatam va Mahabhaga, welcome to the forest. Why did you come here? Is there some problem in your village? You should return to your homes, because for a chaste lady to follow Dharma, it leads to heaven. But if there's deviation for Dharma, then there will be suffering in the future. It leads to a despicable destination. So Krishna spoke like this. But why was he speaking like this? Because he was teasing them. This is the nature of love. Love is not expressed directly, but it's expressed through teasing, through insults, through criticism. But even though Krishna was teasing them, because Braj Gopis, their love is so intense, Anishta Sanka Bandhu Hridayani, Anishta Ashanka Bandhu Hridayani Bhavantihi. It is said that if you have deep love for someone, then if something happens, you always expect the worst. Just like if a mother is waiting for the child to come back from school and they come at 3:30 every day, but one day it's 3:45 or 4 o'clock, and they're looking at the clock and thinking, what happened? And they imagine the worst things. Did someone kidnap my child? Was there some accident? Like this. So though Krishna spoke with double meanings, but gopis, because of the intensity of their love, they feared the worst. And they thought, Krishna's sending us away. But why is he sending us away? We know his heart. Really, he wants to meet with us. But he's just shy. And he's too shy to say what he really feels. So we should help him. So different gopis, they were speaking to Krishna and trying to persuade him that he should accept them. But they were all failing. So finally, Shrimati Radhika spoke. Sing Changa Nastva Davaranurita Kena. This verse Mahaprabhu is teaching to Sanatana Goswami. Finally, Radhika spoke. And then Krishna's ears were overjoyed. Now he got to hear what he wanted to hear. The thing is this, that see, Krishna, the reason he's teasing them is because in Swakiya mood, that is in the married relationship, in Vedic culture, the husband is the dominant person and the wife is submissive to the husband. But in the Parakya relationship, then the hero has to be submissive because the heroine doesn't owe him anything. Actually, he's completely in debt to the heroine because the heroine has sacrificed everything for him. And so, in the Parakya mood, the hero becomes submissive and the heroine is dominant. So just like lover and beloved, sometimes they like to change roles and play each other's roles. That's called Viparita Vilas. So Krishna, he wanted to experience the Viparita Vagvilas. That means the pastimes of words, Vagvilas, but reversed. Where there's a reversal of roles. Though I should be submissive to them, let me be contrary. I'll play the contrary role and see if I can make them become submissive to me. And in this way, I will enjoy not the Viparita Vilas, but Viparita Vagvilas. The Vilas of speaking, Vag means speaking. It will be everything reversed. And also Krishna was thinking in this way, when Braj Gopis speak to me, they always hide their feelings. And the feelings which are, the words which have hidden feelings are more sweet and beautiful. Rasa eva rasatvam upajyate. When rasa is hidden, it becomes more beautiful. Just like if a woman is very beautiful, if she's not dressed, she's not as beautiful. If there's a very fine cloth and it's somewhat transparent and something is hidden and some beauty is peeping through, then it is much more attractive. So in the same way, the words of Braj Gopis, they're always hidden by the veil of some other bhav. And Krishna relishes, he relishes their inner mood that they're hiding from the outer mood. But that doesn't mean that sometimes Krishna doesn't want the gopis to just directly express their feeling and speak in a shameless way. This is why Radha and Krishna, they do the Madhupan Lila, honey wine, drinking honey wine pastime. Because Krishna, he takes the wine and he sips, but actually he doesn't take any, he's just pretending. And then he tells Radhika, you take. And then Radhika drinks and then gives to Krishna, but he doesn't, and he just gets Radhika drunk. And then when she's drunk, then the lock comes off the tongue, and then she'll speak in a very, in a shameless way. Because the heroine actually should not beg the hero openly for the loving pastimes. It will be rasabas. But if in the intoxication of the Madhupan Lila, then Braj Gopis may speak like that, because the Sanchari Bhav comes unmad, complete madness of intoxication. So Krishna was thinking, the gopis always hide their feelings. I am going to speak in such a way that will do buddhinash. They cannot believe it. They left everything for me and they've come to the forest, and now we're finally together. And now speak in such a way which will do buddhinash, destroy their intelligence completely. And they'll become maddened, and then they'll have to express their feeling. And I'll relish this openly. So gopis were speaking, but Krishna wasn't fully satisfied. Then Radhika, she said, Sinchanganastva dadaramrita purakena hasavaloka kalagita charits chayagnim. And then Krishna was overjoyed. Oh, yes, this is what I wanted to hear. Directly Radhika should say, Sincha, that means extinguish. Extinguish what? The fire of calm, the fire of desire in my heart, that you yourself have ignited. How? Hasavaloka kalagita charits chayagnim. Radhika's feeling here is this. Krishna, you told us you should follow Dharma. You are giving us instructions in Dharma. So Krishna, if you are so dharmic, then give us the answer to this question. If you visit someone's house, and then somehow or other, deliberately or by accident, you make a fire and the fire starts to spread throughout the house, what is Dharma to do? It's your Dharma, you have to put the fire out. Otherwise it will spread and destroy everything. And then you will get the karmic reaction of the sin of arson, burning down someone's house. So, you are preaching to us about Dharma, but what about this Dharma? You yourself have lit the fire of calm, the fire of amorous desire in our hearts, and now we are on fire. And you did it. How? Hasavaloka kalagita charit chayagnim. That means by your smile, by your glance, by your flute playing. So that means that your smile is like the ghee. Just as when someone puts ghee in the fire, then the fire increases. So every day when gopis saw Krishna smiling, the fire of their desire was increasing. And the flute was, if you're lighting a fire, you put some ghee and you also go. You have to give some air. So the flute was like the wind. So by the mixture of the ghee of his smile and his glance and the air of his flute singing, then gopis are saying, you ignited this fire and it's become like a vast conflagration. So a great fire, it cannot be extinguished just by a few drops. There has to be a whole flood, there has to be an inundation to extinguish that fire. So Radhika said, Sincha, the first word of the verse, Sincha, means extinguish. It's an imperative, Sincha, extinguish, you must do it. In the verse, the first word has extreme emphasis. Now you must extinguish this fire that you have lit in the heart. This Prem of Radhika and Braj Gopis, it is indescribable because it is not of this world. It is of the Ladini Shakti, pleasure potency. When Radhika sees Krishna, Saundaryamrita Sindhu Darya Lalanam, Saundaryamrita Sindhu Bangalalam Chittadri Samplavakam Kana Nandis Nama Ramya Vachanam Kotindu Sitangika Saurabhyamrita Samplapavata Jagat Piyusharamyadara Sri Gopendra Suta Sakashli Balats Panchindriyanyaline. Radharani, she said, when I saw Krishna, then at that time his beauty was like an ocean with waves. It indicates anurag. Sadanu bhutam apiyaha kuryan nava navam priyam rago bhavan nava navaha sanuraga itiriyate. Anurag means that love which is such that the object of your love seems newer and newer at every moment. And the love itself which is felt for Sri Krishna is newer and new, fresh at every moment, like a new experience. As if, oh, I have never seen him before. And so she's saying the beauty of Krishna is like waves. Why? Because as soon as Radhika sees Krishna, she sees his beauty, but then the next moment there's a new beauty. And the next moment a new beauty. And a newer beauty. So the beauty is coming like waves. Radhika is also like that because Yayatamam Prapadyante. If Radhika has anurag for Krishna, Krishna has anurag for Radhika. So when Krishna sees Radhika, he also sees new. And again, another wave of beauty, another wave of beauty. This is why we sing. Lahara, Lahara, Sri Shamajuki, Man mein mere sumai, Man mein mere sumai. O Shamaju, O Radhika, waves, Lahara, 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 waves and waves of beauty are emanating from you. So when Radhika sees Krishna, he's not like a static figure. Saundaryamrita Sindhu Bangalala, waves are coming. And these waves, even though she said the gopis chitta, the consciousness of Braj gopis is like a high mountain. And the waves of the ocean, they never touch, they never cover the Himalayan mountains. But the beauty of Krishna is such that these waves are coming one after another, that the high Himalayan mountains of the hearts of Braj gopis become completely submerged in that. That means they're not aware of anything else. Kana Nandi Sanama Ramya Vachanam Kotindu Sitangika. And when Krishna speaks, the words of Krishna are so sweet, so beautiful, and full of jokes. It is like the nectar. Madhuraya gira balguvakyaya buddhamanogyaya pushkarekshana. Braj Gopis say, the words that you say are sweet and the sound of your voice is sweeter, and when you speak you move your eyebrows and it's so charming. What to speak of ordinary village girls, even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, they become mad. They become completely bewildered. We know that the demigods, they come down every day and they offer puja to you when you're coming back from the forest. I don't know why they do that. You're a coward boy. Why are these demigods come? I think that you have bewildered them with your sweet words. It must be. If Krishna meets with Radhika, he may say, Priyamte ham chamatir chamama preyasiti pravada tam me prana tam iti tava smiti hanta pralapa tam me tesham ahamita chayat. That's to know sadhu radhe vavaharo known nahi samuchito yusmad asmat prayogaha. O Srimati, O my prana priyatam, if I say, you are my beloved and I am your beloved, then this is just pravad, this is just a conventional way of speaking. And if I say, you are my pran and I am your pran, then this is just a meaningless, empty talk. If I even say that I am yours and you are mine, then this is also incorrect. It's not proper to say this. Why? Because in relation to us, only using the pronouns I and you is inappropriate. Because there's no I and you. The implication is, There is such pranay. Pranay is the level of love where a gopi feels that Krishna and I, we're actually one soul, but we have two bodies. Just like if you're alone in a room and there's a mirror, and you can become undressed in front of your reflection, it's not a problem. But if any person comes there, then you'll be shy. But your mirror, your reflection, oh, it's me. So there's no shyness at all. So when the stage of love comes, pranay, then there's no shyness at all. Why? Because Krishna and Radhika, Krishna and Braj Gopis, they feel we are one heart, only two bodies. It is like Yatha Kaswa Prapatibimba Bibrahma. Shukadev Goswami said, Krishna is playing with the gopis like a child playing with his own reflection in the mirror. So Krishna speaks in a very sweet way. The sound of his words, his nectar, si tangi, kotindu si tangika. Radhika feels, oh, the touch of Krishna's hand is cooler than millions of moons. The fragrance of Sri Krishna's body is spread all throughout the universe. Everywhere I go, I can only smell the fragrance of Sri Krishna. And the taste of Sri Krishna's lips, this is the Amrit. And so by Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasagandha, by sound, by touch, by form, beauty, by taste and by smell, all of the senses of Radhika are attracted to the senses of Krishna, and all the senses of Krishna are attracted to the senses of Srimati Radhika. But Radhika does not feel, oh, my senses are attracted to him, because in this Prem there's no sense of being the doer. So she said, Si Gopendra Suta Sakashti Palat Panchindriyala Alime. This Krishna is so bad. He's forcibly catching all of my senses and dragging them towards him. I am not responsible. He's doing it. He's pulling all of my senses. So the mind can only focus on one sense at once. If you look at something over there and you're looking, then even though your ears are working, then you don't hear what I'm saying. If you become disturbed, because the mind can only focus on one thing at once. So Radhika said, I am like a poor horse. My mind is like a poor horse, and 5 riders are trying to pull the horse in 5 directions at once. And he collapses. So like this, as soon as I see Krishna, the power of Krishna's attraction is attracting all of my senses, and I am fainting. So Radharani is saying, Sinchanta nastadadaramrita purakena, sincha anga. Anga means body. You are like my own anga, my own body. Your body is my body. So anga means my dear, very dear and close to me. Sinchanga nastadadaramrita purakena. Hasavaloka, by your smile, by your words, by your glance, by the sound of your flute, now you have ignited this fire. So if Krishna will say, if it's a very big fire, how can it be extinguished? Radhika says, Adaramrita purakena, only by the Adaramrita, the nectar of your lips, can put out this fire. So now Sri Krishna is very happy. The reason he was teasing, the reason for which he was teasing the Braj Gopis is now being fulfilled. Because the heroine, who should not make a suggestion of loving pastimes to the hero may suggest, but the heroine should be shy and reserved. Now she's demanding, you must put out the fire of desire in my heart, because you have ignited that fire. And you should put it out with a flood of nectar, not just a little bit, not only a small kiss. There should be a flood of nectar from your lips. Only then it can be put out. And if you don't do it, Krishna, then there'll be severe consequences. Why? Because if you don't put out this fire of my desires, then I will, in the fire of meditation, I will sit in meditation. And just like Sati, in yoga meditation, she burst into flames. I will sit and I will meditate upon you. And the fire of separation will burst out of my heart, and my whole body will go up in flames. Padavim sakete, sake means friend. You're my friend, you want me to do this? A friend would never want a friend to undergo this. And even if you reject me and you don't accept me today, then you still cannot win. Why? Because yam yam vapisparam bhavam chajati antikalevaram. Whatever a person remembers at the time of death, they go there. So I will sit in meditation and I will remember you and I will burst into flames in the fire of separation. And because I'm remembering you, I will go to wherever you are. In this life or the next life and the life after that, I will find you. And I will come to your lotus feet. If you don't accept me, I'll become a dust in the path of Braja. And so when you are walking, then I'll touch your lotus feet. But somehow or other, and I'll do this lifetime after lifetime until you accept me. Oh Krishna, don't do this. I know that here there's something very beautiful. On the one hand, the Braj Gopis, they hide their feelings from Krishna. They don't say what they want. Understand? They don't say what they want. They want to engage in loving pastimes, please Krishna in this way. But they don't say that. Now Krishna, by teasing them, by saying opposite, Radhika has become mad, she has buddhinash, her intelligence has been destroyed. She has unmad, she's become completely intoxicated. And she cannot check herself. And she is told, oh, you must extinguish the fire of my desire with the nectar from your lips. So, what she wants, she's expressing. So Krishna's managed to unveil what Radhika wants. But still, she's hiding something. What is that? The reason that she wants that. The reason. The reason that she wants. Why? Because it is not that she wants Krishna to extinguish the fire of desire in her heart for her benefit. Because this love is so pure, the desire in the heart of Gopi is to give happiness to Krishna is actually his desire. If it wasn't what he wanted, they wouldn't feel it. That's why it's called Tat Tat Bhav Ichamai. Whatever bhav is in the heart of Krishna, that's what they want. That's what they want. You see? So just like, we'll give an example from Sakyaras because it's easy to understand. Madhura Ras is very high. If the coward boys are playing in the forest with Krishna, and they say, Krishna, Krishna, help us. We're being attacked by a demon. Krishna jumps up, where? The coward boys, oh, we're attacked by the demon of hunger. It's attacking our belly. So we should go to this forest now and pick some fruits. Is it that the coward boys are thinking we're hungry? No. They're thinking that Krishna is hungry. And it's the nature of Braja Prem. Everything is expressed in a crooked way. There's some chow, there's some deception in it. But on the pretext of saying that they're hungry, they inspire Krishna to go, so they'll go and then Krishna will eat. They want Krishna to eat. So in the same way, when Braj Gopis say, I am burning in the fire of lust and you have to extinguish it. No, they're thinking, Krishna is so shy. He wants to meet with us, but he's too shy to express it. So we'll express it that this is what we want, and that will give him inspiration, and then he'll give up his shyness. And then Krishna will be happy. But if Krishna, we cannot tolerate that Krishna has this desire in his heart, but he's too shy to accept us. We cannot tolerate it. And so we'll burn in the fire of separation, because we know that Krishna himself is burning in the fire of separation from us. But we feel his suffering 1,000,000 times more than he feels. If Krishna will just step on a small stone, then gopis say, we feel that as if we've been bitten by 1,000 scorpions. So Braj gopis, they feel Krishna's happiness, they feel Krishna's distress, but they feel it even more than he does. So Radhika is saying, oh, the inner meaning is, you have a desire, and if your desire is not fulfilled, I will just die, and I will give up my life again and again until your desire is fulfilled. Very beautiful. So there's a very big difference between the mood of Dwarka and the Prem, the supernatural Mahabhav of Braj Gopis. So Mahaprabhu, he gave two examples. First, one of Rukmini, and then he gave the example of Shrimati Radhika. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Sanatana Goswami, you want to give up this body because you're saying you are born in a very low family. Actually, his ancestors were Brahmins, Sarasvat Brahmins from Karnataka. But for a few generations, they'd been kind of Islamized, and they were engaged in the government of the king for a few generations. So he was saying, Sanatana Goswami was thinking, I should give up this body because I have a very low birth, I have very low association. So Mahaprabhu told him that actually, if a person is born in a very high caste, they have all Brahminical qualifications, it does not make them eligible, qualified for bhakti. And if a person is born in a very low position, it does not disqualify them at all from bhakti. Any material situation, high or low, is irrelevant. So Mahaprabhu told Sanatana Goswami, Ye bhaja se bada abhaktahina cha Krishna bhajane nai jati kula di vichar. It means that that person who's doing bhajan, who's engaged in service, he is great. Ye bhaja se bada. Abhaktahina cha. And any person, no matter how aristocratic they are, if they are not engaged in bhajan, they are hinacha, they are despicable. And those who are abhakta, not devotees, they are despicable. But Krishna bhajane nahi jati kula di vichar. You should know that in the matter of service to Krishna, there is no consideration at all of one's birth, one's caste, one's race, one's gender, or anything, because it's completely transcendental. So then Mahaprabhu said, Hey Sanatan, you cannot give up this body because it belongs to me. Your body belongs to me. And I have many things that I want to achieve through this. I cannot accept that you have some disease, and therefore I should not embrace you. In fact, when I embrace you, I can smell the fragrance of chatusama coming from your body. I can smell, chatusama means chandan, sandalwood paste, kasturi, musk, agur, wood, and camphor. These four very fragrant substances mixed together, this fragrance I smell coming from your body when I embrace you. Just like a mother who has a small child, if the child passes stool or anything, then the mother feels this stool is like chandan. It gives pleasure to her, she is not disturbed at all. So Mahaprabhu said, even though I don't want respect from anyone, but still I am openly telling you, I see you like you and Haridas, I see you like my children, and you give me so much pleasure. So I could not reject you at all. I am a sannyasi, and as a sannyasi, I should not see duality. Dvaiti badra badra gyan sabamanodam, e bala e manda e sababram. The dualities of this world, they're all coming from the manodharma, it's the religion of the mind. To say this thing is good and this thing is bad. This is all illusory, all bewilderment. An enlightened person sees everyone equally. Vidya, Vinaya, Sampane, Brahmini, Gavi, Hastini, Sunichai, Vaswapakacha, Panditaha, Samadarshinaha. Mahaprabhu quotes Bhagavad Gita. He said, a Pandit is a person who sees a gentle and learned Brahmin, a cow, an elephant, a dog, an outcast dog eater, all the same. Not only that, but jnana, vijnana, triptatma, kutasta, vijitendriya, yoga, yukta ityutate yogi, samalostasta kanchana. Mahaprabhu quoted Gita again. He said, that person is called a yogi who is completely satisfied in knowledge and realization. He has complete control over all of his senses. And he sees the pebbles and the stone and gold all to be equal. He doesn't see any difference between a worthless piece of mud and a block of gold. So Mahaprabhu said, I think that Krishna sent you in this condition to test me. Mahaprabhu said, Krishna is trying to test me by sending you. And if I were not to embrace you, if I didn't accept you, then it would be an offense. And Krishna would be displeased. Because you have surrendered completely. You have received Diksha. Then Mahaprabhu quoted an important verse from the 11th canto. Martyo yada chakta samasta karma Niveditatma vichikishato me. Tadamritatvam pradipadyamano. Mamatma bhuyaya chakalpatevai. Here Krishna said, Martyoya da chakta samasta karma. If there's a mortal being in this world, he's martya, he's a mortal being. He's in the cycle of birth and death. But chakta karma, he gives up all fruitive activities. He never engages himself in seeking reward for himself. But rather, niveditatma vichikishato me. He does atma nivedan. He surrenders himself fully to his Gurudev at the time of initiation. Nivedit atma nivedan. Who is the example in Shastra of atma nivedan? Bali Maharaj, yes. Bali Maharaj. You know what the Bali means, the word Bali? Bali means an offering. When you make an offering in a sacrifice, that offering is called Bali. So the meaning of Bali Maharaj's name is this, that there are two things. There is a Vibhu Chaitanya, the unlimited conscious being. And there is the Anu Chaitanya, the minute conscious being. The minute conscious being, its swadharma, its swabhav, its true nature is to be completely offered and completely subordinate to the Vibhu Chaitanya. And therefore, every Atma is Bali. Every soul is really Bali. To follow Bali Maharaj means we ourselves have to become Bali. It's no good offering things to Krishna, giving things to Krishna, yat jahosi, yat tapasyasi, like that. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you give away. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected this when Ramananda Rai suggested it. He said this, why? Because you're offering things, but you yourself have to be the offering. We ourselves have to be the offering. We have to be the Bali. So we ourselves are the Bali. We are the offering. And our Chaitanya, our consciousness, Anu Chaitanya, minute consciousness, is fully subordinate to the Vibhu Chaitanya, the supreme consciousness, Sri Krishna. Then we are situated in our Swabhav, our transcendental nature. And as long as we have a Pritag Drisha, a sense of being separate from Krishna, separate from God, independent in any way, then the nature of the soul is not manifest. We experience the nature of the body. And then everything else is Bali, but not us. So, Martyoya da chakta samasta karma niveditatma vichikirshitome. Krishna said, when a person at the time of initiation, he does atma nivedan, he becomes fully subordinate to the Supreme Lord through the process of surrender. Then vichikirshitome, Krishna said, I desire to make him special. That means that Krishna, one portion of Krishna, one Vaibhav of Krishna, one Angsa Jyoti, that means a particle of the light emanating from the Swarupa of Sri Krishna. That is the spiritual form. The spiritual form of that Jiva, which is a particle of Sri Krishna, it's Tadrupa Vaibhav, the Vaibhav emanating from Krishna's form. It appears in the heart of that devotee. And now when he engages his eyes in seeing the deity, the more he's seeing the deity, the more he's seeing the deity in his heart, then the more he becomes aware of the spiritual eye of his Swarup. That's why the Upanishads say, the Supreme Lord is the eye of your eye and the ear of your ear. So the more the eyes are engaged in seeing Krishna, the ears engaging in hearing of Krishna, the senses engaged in serving Krishna, then the divine transcendental senses of the spiritual form gradually become awakened. So, Todamritatmam pradipatyamano, of that person who has completely opposed himself, he was martya, but now he becomes amritattva. He attains immortality. So here that he attains amritattva means he becomes situated in his spiritual swarup. Because only the spiritual body is amrita, immortal, deathless. Mamatmayu bhuyaya chakalpatebai, and he becomes situated as a portion of my opulence. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Sanatana Goswami, you are Vaishnava, you have surrendered to Krishna. You are internally and externally transcendental. So I cannot refrain from embracing you. So So then, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, again, he embraced Srila Sanatana Goswami. And when he embraced him, all the disease just disappeared. And he became fully healthy, and he was shining and golden. Srila Haridas Thakur was amazed. He said, "Oh Mahaprabhu, who can understand your pastimes?" Mahaprabhu said, "Through you, Sanatana Goswami, I want to discover the lost deities in Vrindavan. I want to uncover the lost holy places in Vrindavan. Through you, I want to write the Bhakti Granthas explaining the path of Bhakti, like Brihad Bhagavatamrita. And through you, establish what is proper behavior for Vaishnavas, Hari Bhakti Vilas." Srila Sanatana Goswami wrote the commentary on Hari Bhakti Vilas. So Mahaprabhu said, "Your body belongs to me, and I will do so many things through you." Srila Sanatana Goswami said, "My Lord, you are the puppet master and I am just a puppet. I can only dance according to your will." So this is the vision of a Vaishnava. Those who are surrendered understand, I have no power. I cannot do anything. But I have received order, the mission of Gurudev, and the mission of Guru and Gauranga. And by serving this, gradually the person can realize, I am not doing anything. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is doing everything. And then all the activities of devotional service are just pure nectar. Haridas Thakur was amazed. He said, "Oh my Lord, previously you were Krishna, and when in your tour of South India, you embraced the leper, Vasudev, and you cured him from leprosy. And now you have also cured Sanatana Goswami from this Kandu Rasa, from this itching disease." Haridas Thakur said, "No one can understand your pastimes, but now I realize, O Mahaprabhu, it was you who made him drink the contaminated water. It was you who gave him this disease to test him. And then it was you who also made the disease go away and manifested his beautiful form. You are doing all of this, everything. Who can understand your pastimes?" So then Mahaprasad arrived from the Jagannath temple, and Mahaprabhu himself was serving out the prasad for the devotees. But no one will eat unless Mahaprabhu will eat. So Swarup Damodar used to stop him and say, "Stop, Mahaprabhu, please, you sit down and you take something. Otherwise no one will eat." Mahaprabhu asked Sanatana Goswami, "You should stay here with me for 1 year, for this Rath Yatra, and after the next Rath Yatra, then you can go to Vrindavan." So no one can describe the separation of Sanatana Goswami when it was time to leave Mahaprabhu, to leave Puri, and never see Mahaprabhu again. It was a very pathetic scene. But Srila Sanatana Goswami is very clever. He did a wonderful thing. Previously, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had been to Vrindavan, and Balabhadra Bhattacharya travelled with him. So before leaving Sanatana Goswami, he went to Balabhadra Bhattacharya and said, "Can you tell me which route did you take to go to Vrindavan?" And so Balabhadra Bhattacharya wrote down the names of all the places that the Mahaprabhu went to and every place that he stopped along the way, and he gave it to Sanatana Goswami. And then when Sanatana Goswami, though he was broken-hearted, when he set out from Puri and feeling so much separation, he went to each and every place where Mahaprabhu kept his lotus feet and stayed. And in each place he was remembering Mahaprabhu and crying and realizing his pastime there. Gaura Amar Yeshabastame Karla Brahmana Range Seistabasani Heribo Ami Pranay Bhakata Sange. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his song Shuddha Bhakata, when he describes what's favorable for devotional service, he said, "I want to go to all of the places where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has visited. And I want to wander through those places in the association of loving devotees." Why? Because the general person, they cannot experience the mood of that place. But if we're in the association of pure Vaishnavas who are relishing, who are seeing the pastimes in that place, and we hear from them, then the Dham, because we're in the subordination of pure devotees, then the Dham is pleased to begin to reveal itself to us. So we see Sanatana Goswami was traveling alone. He didn't have Pranaya Bhakata Sangha, the association of loving devotees. But he doesn't need it, because he is the Paramahamsa. He is a natural Paramahamsa. But for those who are not on that level, they should try to be with advanced devotees and hear from them. When Mahaprabhu told him, go to Braj Mandal and uncover the lost holy places, he didn't mean just locate where they are on the map. But rather, the dhams in Kali Yuga become weak and they become dormant, they become unmanifest. And so, when a pure devotee goes there and chants the holy name, then the dham becomes invigorated and begins to manifest its power. And so, Sanatana Goswami is traveling all over Braj. On the order of Mahaprabhu was not just to find out the location, the coordinates of each place, but to actually inspire Braj Mandal to manifest its power, that it become somewhat hidden due to the advancement of Kali Yuga. So in this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came to this world with his associates, and every interaction with them is filled with rasa. So it's very difficult to approach Radha and Krishna, they're very inaccessible. But if one will hear about the love of Sanatana Goswami for Mahaprabhu and his attachment, then a drop of that attachment may come to us. And then what will happen? Yata yata Gaura-tattva vindeta bhaktim krita punya rasi tata tata sapati vridya kasmad Radha padamboja sudamburasi. Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur said, the degree to which a person surrenders to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and develops love for him, then to that degree, the waves of the ocean of loving service to the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika will rise in his heart, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the combined form of Radha and Krishna. It's very difficult to approach Radha Krishna, because they're approached only in Raganuga Bhakti and only in Madhurya Rasa. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is approached in Dasya mood. That's why he's called Mahaprabhu, the great Prabhu. And the highest mood towards Mahaprabhu is Dasya. So if one will approach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as his Das, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daseranu Daso Seva Abhilas Kare Narottama Das, then the Seva Abhilas, very intense desire for the service of Radha Krishna, will rise up in the heart. Prem Purushottama Sachisnandan Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai. Jai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol.